I said, how many times did I come to you and said, this is what I was hearing? Twice! You exploded on me. Twice! I was telling you that if this is what Asiwaju wants, let's start on the job. Look, in politics, among party faithfuls, if you put Oyetola in charge of distributing rice, distributing Christmas goodies and Ramadan goodies and Ileya goodies, within 2 cycles, he becomes the favorite of the party. That's what happened to Adeyeye. They tried to keep Adeyeye out of the government. They put him in charge of doing all the goodies. In the process, they made Adeyeye extremely popular within the party. And the man, the technocrat that you were thinking, is running the government, nobody ever saw him enough to believe that he could look at their face. So by the time the election came, honestly, Adeyeye had become the one controlling most of the apparatus and structure of the party. That's the truth.
Mm.
So when he now told me, I said, look, I'm not no good to be a part of this because I've told you long ago. And I said, look, you people are doing a great disservice. You, Rauf, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you have both done a great disservice against Oyetola. Because if you knew you were going to push him, we should have been doing this job long ago. Now you are pushed out to a point where the whole of it says he must be in the West. Ikire says he must be in the West. Bongo says he must be West. At this point now, you now want me to say, I said, look, I'm not going to be a part of it. Fortunately, I'm old enough to retire, so I'll leave all of you to face it. Raul got up and said, Egmont, this is one time that I need you to be by my side. I'm begging you. I said, look, I will not yield to your plea. Go and tell Bola Tinubu that if we do it, we will be in trouble in Osun. I said, particularly because Chief Bisi Akande, the leader for all of us, went to the press and said, we will be just. The aspirant will come from the West. Later on, of course, for whatever reason, he also said, well, there's no zoning in democracy. And so we now find ourselves where an entire zone was against us, and the sympathizers from that zone were also against us. Many of them from my own senatorial zone, many from Raul's senatorial zone, because they said, look, when it was your turn, Raul, we stood by your people, we stood by your candidate. Now you don't want to stand by our own man. So I told him, I don't want to be a part of it. Anyway, Raul begged and begged. I said, why don't you and I go and tell him that this thing will create trouble for us and we won't be able to manage it. Raul said he had told him. I said, what did he tell you? Raul said he told him that since you have been governor, have I ever asked you for anything? And he said, look, the truth is, the man had never asked him for anything. I said, yes. If I were in your shoes, I would say, Oga, you have never asked me for anything. But that which you are asking now is too late. I'm not able to do it. It's going to put us in trouble. And that's what happened. In the end, they now had to come and do some magic of inconclusive election. And they had to bring other people in to be their savior. Same people who faced Omoworare and were beaten flat down. Same people who contested against you and were beaten flat down. Same people who contest this time, they didn't come first, they didn't come second. They were a distance out. You now say, oh, these are the ones to save us now. Look, there's too much. Wherever you have error, wherever you have injustice, whether you like it or not, every evil contains deceit for his own destruction. I pray to God that time heals all wounds. I pray to God that this next election, I will do my best to make sure Oyetola wins. I, in my heart of heart, believe Oyetola is a good man. I believe he is a good governor. But I don't believe that the circumstances under which he came in was fair to him. And it wasn't created by him. I believe Bola Tinubu was guilty of that. But even more than Bola Tinubu, Rauf was guilty of that. Because if I were in his shoes, hell no, I would have said, Oga, you initiate. And by now, whatever anger that would have been generated at that time would have settled down. We would have won the election for whoever our man is. Maybe at that point, instead of Oyetola being governor now, maybe he will be the one who will be in the Senate, or maybe he will be the one who will be minister. Oyetola is a talented man, but the circumstances under which he came in were such that it engendered strife within the party. Okay. And part of that, quite frankly, was self-inflicted.
So how did that cause the trouble between Rauf and Tinubu?
Let me tell you, when it comes to Rauf and Tinubu, if you try to get between them, you'll be making a mistake. You know? Because I was at a meeting where Bola himself said, if he was sleeping and there's a knife in the hand of Rauf, nobody should wake him up because he knows that Rauf will not stab him. So whatever happens between them now, only the two of them know. I don't know what happened. In fact, I don't talk about either to the other because, as I told you, the kind of love and passion that Rauf had for Tinubu, only God knows what could have gone wrong between them. The only thing is, if Rauf felt that he had issues with the governor of Osun and expected that Asiwaju would be objective in looking